My summer and 1,000 splendid suns. Sorry if any background noise mispronunciation. Can't really. Okay. So this is Miriam. She lives in a small hut in Galdeman with her brother Nana. Her Jalil, her father, visits her only once a week and doesn't accept Miriam as his legitimate child. Jalil was going to take Miriam to the cinema for her birthday but didn't show up, so Miriam decides to run off to go see him. Miriam goes to Herat, and when she arrives is told that he isn't home, and she decides to stay the whole night. And when the next morning she was forced to leave, she saw Jalil through the window and she left very upset. Miriam was dropped off back into her home in Goldaman, and she saw that Nana committed suicide, and Miriam blamed herself. And at this point, Miriam feels she has no family. Miriam was forced to live with Jalil, and she refused to leave the room because she was still angry at him. Jalil's wives didn't want her living there anymore, so they decided to marry her off. She got married to Rashid and moved to Kabul with him. Miriam had been married to Rashid for some time, and she got pregnant and was very happy and excited about the child. Miriam had a miscarriage, and Rashid was very angry about it. And Rashid blamed Miriam for the miscarriage, and he got so angry that he started to beat her. That was the beginning of his abusive behavior. Miriam got a visit from a man in a rich black car with a brown suit and white hair. And we know as the reader that's Jalil. Miriam refused to let him in and refused to speak to him, and someone new was introduced. Layla, a young and beautiful girl who lived in Kabul. She liked spending time with her friends and her love interest, Tariq. One day, Tariq told Layla that he and his family had to move to Pakistan since war is rising, and he will be serving in war as well. The night before, they made love in an alleyway, and that was very important to Layla. Mammy had always been oppressed for the death of her sons, and Babby was always really supportive of Layla, so she convinced her parents to go to Pakistan as well to ensure safety. And as Layla was packing up the car, a rocket hit their house, causing an explosion, killing both Babby and Mammy. Layla was alive, and she was awoken by two figures, Miriam and Rashid. Rashid took advantage of the situation since Layla can give her a boy. Rashid opened the idea of making Layla his second wife. A man named Abdul Sharif comes to tell Layla that Tariq had passed away in war, and that made Layla marry Rashid. Layla found out that she was pregnant, but it was Tariq's baby, not Rashid's, but she told Rashid it was his so that she can make a living. Miriam wasn't very happy, and she started complaining, but he ignored the complaints. Rashid treated Layla as if he was his princess, and Miriam pushed her aside. Miriam was very upset, and tensions rose between them. Layla gave birth to her firstborn, Aziza, and Miriam had fallen in love that she befriended Layla, and Rashid didn't like her because she was a girl. Layla and Miriam plotted to escape Kabul and Rashid with Aziza, and at that point the Taliban had taken over. They had both asked someone to act as their husband, and they turned them in to the authorities and got sent back to Rashid. As they got back, Rashid tortured all of them, but he brutally abuses Miriam because he put the ideas in Layla's head. Layla got pregnant with her second child, which is actually Rashid's, called Zalmay, and he adored him. Rashid's shoe shop was burned to the ground, and this put the family into poverty. Rashid made Layla call Jalil, and she found out that Jalil had passed away. And so he forced Layla to send Aziza to an orphanage. She visited Aziza until Rashid stopped taking her, and she had trouble because the Taliban kept catching her. So one day, Tariq appeared at the door and shocked her, and Layla learned that Rashid hired the man to lie about Tariq's death, and they caught up and she told him everything about Aziza. Rashid heard about Tariq, and he chokes Layla, almost killing her, and Miriam ran out and grabbed the shovel and killed Rashid. Miriam made them move so they can live the life that they dreamed about and not suffer the punishment for her actions. Miriam turned herself in, and she was put to jail and sentenced to death. Layla and Tariq married, and they led a happy life and created a home with the children in Pakistan. Miriam wasn't satisfied with what she was doing, so she opened the idea of moving back to Kabul, and they did. But first they visited Goldaman, where Miriam was born, and she wanted to know more about Miriam's childhood. So they got stopped by a man named Hamza, and they were given a box with money and a letter. The letter including words from Jalil to Miriam. Using the money, she renovated the orphanage and started working as a school teacher. And she was mentioned in the newspaper, and that made Layla feel that she met everyone's expectations that they left for her about how she'll make it one day. Then in the novel, Layla is pregnant with Tariq's baby, and the child is a girl. And if the child is a girl, she knows what her name is going to be, which is Miriam, which is very sweet. And that was the end.